Hello and welcome to Alive with Amanda. Today we're going to be talking about one thing I'm working on in my practice so you all know some things that you can be working on. And so I am going back to what I first did when I started my private practice 10 years ago, and it's blogging. Okay. I am really working on our website, making it ready, or ready is probably not the right word, but I'll just use the word ready because I can't think of anything off the top of my head. You see, I'm searching for SEO, which we've always worked on, and for AI. Okay. Because now we have to be using our websites for both of those purposes. So if you've watched my videos in the past, we've talked a lot about SEO and how you can rank, how you can use keywords and locations, and all of those things are still really important. So the good thing about like SEO and GEO, which is like the AI sort of term there, I'm not going to go into the intricacies of that because I don't know enough about it, but sort of like the cross section of like what search engines do and what AI does. There is like the Venn diagram. There is an amount here. SEO wants one thing, AI wants another thing, that you have to be doing both of these things, but there is a cross section. And so I am working on, for instance, we've done a lot of behind the scenes work on updating locations, making sure everything is sort of like the same across all platforms. And now I'm going into blog posts and writing very specific blog posts in a way that both SEO likes it. So I'm using keywords, I'm using locations, but I'm doing more long form. So before I would put up a blog post and say, it's good enough. Now I'm making sure that I change over all of my author bios, and I made sure I put a lot of like rich information in there about myself, about my practice, about the locations. And so you can check that out at caringtherapistsofbroward.com under blog, so you can see how I'm writing my author bio. I'm working on a 3,000 word blog post. I will admit that I am cheating because I, at some level, am using AI to write that blog post. 3,000 words is a lot. I don't have the time to do that. So basically what I did is I took an old blog post and I expanded upon that. It was a great blog post. It's about anxiety. It was one that I probably wrote 10 years ago, but it's still applicable because they're evidence-based treatments. Nothing has really changed in terms of like how necessarily anxiety gets treated or the tips that people are looking for. And so I took that blog post, I expanded on that. I'm doing some editing. We're adding a lot of like location-rich information in there. So Hollywood, Coral Springs, Sunrise, Davie, Florida, South Florida, Broward, Palm Beach, right? Like all of the different things that we want everybody to know, that like where we're located, what we do anxiety treatment. Here's our locations, right? So that's really what we're focusing on, is like, what are we doing? Where do we do it? Right. And that needs to be spelled out on all of our service pages, blog posts, the homepage, and we laid out contact pages. And so that is what I am really working on in my practice, is making sure that Google, basically, and AI. So Google and ChatGPT both know who we are and where we do it. And that not only that we do it, but that we're excellent at doing it. We do it with evidence-based practices. We're highly trusted. We're the best. We're highly rated, et cetera, right? Because when people go in and say best therapist in this area, I want our team to really rank on there. I actually used ChatGPT the other day. And when I put in like sort of like a generic, like, give me, a psychologist that does ADHD testing, actually we didn't rank. But when I put something in there, like, give me the best psychologist in Broward County that takes Cigna, bam, 2 of my clinicians were there. That made me happy. Why? Because we're an insurance-based practice. So chances are people, if they want to use their insurance, they're probably maybe putting that into ChatGPT or wherever they're looking. So that was really exciting. Then I'll give you the next step of what I'm going to be doing when I'm using that 3,000 word blog post. But first, I want to thank our sponsor, TherapyNotes, who does have an AI feature that makes our practice easier to run, Therapy Fuel. Our clinicians are using it. They like it. It's made the note completion rate faster, right? Like we track that every single week, what percentage of our notes are completed. We've seen an increase. So if you're a group practice owner or even a solo practice owner and you're looking for a way to get your notes completed faster, AI is certainly a great way to do it. It's HIPAA compliant and it can really make that transition smoother. We found like that was somewhere in our process that lagged, right? Like we get intakes in, people see the session, they see the clients, the session gets done. And then there was this gap in when we were able to bill insurance. So then it creates a delay in payment. And we wanted to make that process as tight as possible. And so having an AI feature for our note taker is fantastic. So thank you to our sponsor, TherapyNotes. So from here, I'm using this blog post on anxiety. I'm going to create additional blog posts that are a little bit more niche based. I'm going to be doing questions and answers in those blog posts, and I will do a series of those as well. I will use some AI in there. It's just easier for me, but I'm using my own ideas. I don't want to regurgitate things that are already out there. I'm going to create my own ideas, and I'm going to feed some blog posts of things that I wrote initially so that AI can understand my tone, understand, there's some blog posts that I wrote out there that I was like, oh, these are kind of funny, right? Or they're kind of cute, or they've got like a certain whimsical tone to it. I want to keep that. And so I can tell Chat GPT, for instance, like these are 5 blog posts I wrote, write another blog post on anxiety with this tone, give these 10 tips, et cetera, et cetera. So you can really get down to the nitty gritty. It is time consuming. So I was actually thinking today, I'm going to set some time in my calendar to do blog writing because I think that it's going to be really important. And even as CEO of Caring Therapists, this is like on the forefront for me and I kind of enjoy doing it. So I don't mind. So I hope this was helpful. I'll see you soon, everybody. Bye.